Densha, and Lib Doril. You guys remember who they are? Of course, you remember Densha. Lib Doril was the tiefling cleric who worked in the temple.
Just hope nobody else remembers Densha for a while.
So he also, Coleman told you about the king's speech that was going on in a couple dozen minutes, and you guys went to attend it. You heard about the crimes committed against the palace and the nobles in the city. Once again, the stolen food from the palace reserves and inexplicable sudden disappearance of various dinners. He applauds the sentiment of feeding the poor. I finally decided on the name for the king. His name is King Reptar Ripty.
That's fucking amazing.
What is it now?
Amazing.
Reptar Ripty.
Oh, fucking Reptar, dude. You had me at Reptar.
Yeah, that's what sold me.
Fucking Rugrats, dude.
That's how you spell it in the game chat.
Nice.
So yeah, sudden disappearance of various dinners. He applauds the sentiment of feeding the poor, but stresses the importance of frugality in these times because Waterdeep was attacked, and that means their trade routes may be disrupted, which would severely affect the city's economy.
I'm pretty interested on this lore with the attack on Waterdeep. I didn't play into it that much last game, but hopefully we can get some more information on it.
Is Reptar the king of Waterdeep or the other king?
Reptar is the king of Kudra. He's the one giving the speech.
Got it.
In Kudra.
But it would like probably be assumed that pretty much all of our characters know that Waterdeep exists and that it's like a huge city in the world.
It is a very, very powerful, huge city. It's one of the only cities that has never been conquered by anyone.
Yeah.
Probably like knowing New York exists. Everyone knows New York exists.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it will severely affect the city's economy in the coming future, which might mean surplus food will become a luxury. It puts in order for anyone who knows anything to come and report anything about the stolen food reserves or the disappearing dinners. It mentions to consider the sight of a person eating delicious food in a mismatched location, or poor people eating above their class on the street as suspicious behavior.
When has that not been suspicious?
Some other details about the king is that while he's preaching about the importance of frugality, he is just adorned in opulence, like gemstone bodywear, bracelets, rings, necklaces, gold trimmed plate. He's surrounded on his staircase to the palace, overlooking the noble square, surrounded by luscious plants, stonework, servants fanning him, occasionally spritzing his vest-wearing body with water from a peculiar-looking widget. There's 3 servants holding his speech for him to read. I didn't describe this last game, but I thought it was great. This part, one servant is standing facing the crowd with a slight bow at 60 degrees, and the speech sheet is positioned on his back. 2 other servants are holding the top and bottom of the page and flipping to the next one when needed. They're standing off to the side with both arms pointing outward when they aren't turning the page and trying to hold the page in symmetrical positions. So like they're facing the king, that guy who's bowed is facing the crowd. The speech sheet is on his back and they're holding the top and bottom of it with their other arm pointed out.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I take a quick 5-minute smoke break to go smoke?
Yeah, I'm just describing everything that happened last time.
Okay.
I'm going to do that as well. I'll have my headphones in. So I can hear you, but you guys just won't be able to hear me.
Yeah, I guess I could pop my phone on. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. All right, so during the speech, you guys all notices Densha lurking in the crowd. The party also notices a rotund man in a cat costume sneaking in an exaggerated manner and singing the song, Felix the Sneaky Cat. What'll I do if I find a rat? Maybe I'll lay down and take a cat nap, 'cause I'm Felix the Sneaky Cat. Yeah. So Darren, Tom Riches, decides to cast Hold Person in the middle of the square with guards around all on Felix, not realizing that Hold Person will draw aggro from the guards because it affects their physical body. So I rolled a D2 to decide if he could take it back, and he got to take it back. So then you guys found Felix, and instead of casting Hold Person on him, you just intimidated the crap out of him. Tom barked like a dog, Son threatened him, Nix interrogated. They made the fur on his cat costume stand up and poof out. He hissed. Nix tried to tell them they were undercover guards, but he was not convinced. Tom tried to convince him that that the party was actually secret agents on a mission to solve these crimes, and promises to make Felix a secret agent with the party via deception. At disadvantage due to the situation of Nix immediately being a lie, Tom somehow succeeded, and Felix became ecstatic to become sneaky for his job, and decided to divulge some information. So you guys found out from Felix that Felix is the club leader for the cat club in Kudra. He doesn't know who would have stolen the goods exactly, but he has suspicions about some members of his club. He thinks Densha was probably involved with fencing the food to the temple because he is a fence she. By splitting the food between anonymous groups and donating over a quick period of time between food drives, which is every 5 days or so. Densha is an adaptable, gender-fluid halfling, meaning everyone mixes up whether she is a he or a she, and she just adapts to the situation, becoming the gender that she is referred to as. There, now it's easy. It's also easy because she's dead now.
Yeah,
that actually makes
Felix
it much
also
easier.
Thinks that because the temple provides these food drives, and there's a strong possibility that they may have been involved with the incident, and that the party should talk to Lib Delor, one of the king's scribes and head of the temple in Kudra. No leads on the disappearing dinner except to watch for poor people eating fine food. What was that? What was someone going to say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. So Thal, who saw Densha earlier in the speech, still sees her watching the party while they interrogate Felix, so he approaches. Densha senses his approach because she is looking straight at him, and she turns to run and hide. She casts invisibility on herself while hiding in the crowd. Fortunately, Thal had see invisibility active, so he could still see her. He turned into a spider with wild shape and latched on to Densha. Densha led Thal all the way to her hideout, where she entered and started talking to the men in the building, her presumed henchmen. While Thal was on Densha's shoulder, he heard a number of conversations and found out that Densha received payment from the freaks at the cat club to give the food to the temple to feed the poor with. Thal then snuck out of the hideout as a spider, and was spotted by a guard who tried to stomp him, and he luckily avoided it and made it outside. He went into the alley and used his sending stone to send a message to Lucius to send to Tom, the captain. Tom heard the information that the fence Densha received a large food supply and payment to donate it from a bunch of freaks that Thal is waiting, and that Thal is waiting in an alleyway by their hideout. The directions to the hideout are explained as they move through the streets by Lucius. The players then go to the temple and are amazed by the number of books on the inside. The walls covered from top to bottom in layers of books in a round domed room. Players are greeted by Gordina at the door to the temple. Tom Riches asks if they have any books on liches. He is led by a scribe who came out from one of the side rooms. He tells him, that's a note for me. Yeah, that's a note for me. You guys don't know what he found out about the liches. So
All right.
I'm going to skip this part. The party who had been talking to Lib Delore about her potential involvement in the stolen food reserves, she insists that she thought the extra food donated that week was a coincidence. She admits she was excited about how much they were going to be able to give. But the food was donated before the palace noticed it went missing. It was donated by various people from all walks of life, more than normal that week. They keep a ledger where people can sign it as proof of their donation, but it is optional. Some people may not want to be known to give to the poor, and that's their decision. If anonymity gets them to donate, then the temple welcomes it. So the food is kept in a storage room in the back right of the building. No one guards it. Lib Delore was reading a book about Georgism as the party, Nick, Son, and Raggedy approached. Son immediately made a derogatory comment about women reading, and Lib glared at him, saying that she expected a fellow tiefling would know better than to stoop to the level of the humans and discriminate. He should know how that feels. Son continued by making less offensive derogatory comments while she is talking. Towards the end of the conversation, just before Tom came back, Tom got a message from his sending stone about Fall discovering that Densha did receive payment to donate the food. They got directions to navigate to the hideout. You guys arrived at the hideout and scheme in the alleyway for a long time. You guys discussed going in guns blazing, knocking on the back door to distract the thugs inside, just talking to them, sneaking in, and